Would you like to learn how to transform this extra large men's shirt into a pinafore dress with a detachable bib? Then keep watching for a step-by-step tutorial. Welcome to Refashion Revision, where I take old, outdated clothes and transform them into new. My name is Sarah, and I love for you to subscribe to my channel to see new refashions and more. This transformation is based on my last thrift shopping episode where this pink men's shirt had the most votes on which item to refashion next, so thanks for voting. And as you know, I refashion a lot of my clothes, but there are some that are cute just as is and need no refashioning. And with those, I sell on Poshmark. I've been selling there for a few years now, and so many people are on it that you'll have the highest chance of selling your clothes there. Their app is super easy to use. It takes 1 minute to list an item. So if you also need to do some spring cleaning of your own like me, click the link below and start earning some cash. And come find me on the app at handle SarahT95. Let's get right to it. You'll need scissors, pins, elastic, measuring tape, and matching thread. There are two ways to measure the waist, directly from the waist or from the skirt. Cut the sleeves off. Make sure the shirt lies flat with no wrinkles. The nice thing about using a cutting mat is it also comes with measurements. So I align this so that it's straight. So if I am cutting starting at number 7 here, then I just have to make sure at 7. And you can lift the fabric a little bit as you go so that you can see that you're following the line. This bottom part I'm cutting will be the skirt. Now we can unbutton this, cut this off, and then sew it together. Flip it inside out. And sew along the lines. This strip I'm cutting will be the waistband. This will be the back of the waistband where the elastic will go. So we'll bunch up a ton. My girl's waist is 22 inches, so you want to minus that in half plus 1. So 22 divided by 2 is 11, plus 1 is 12. So that's about right. I'm just going to leave it a little bit longer just in case. It's easier to make it smaller but not bigger. So this is the front piece and this will be the back. I have this interfacing. You just need the interfacing just for the front piece. Now press it together with the iron. Base stitch all along until the very end. Do not backstitch. Pull one side of the string. Make sure it's all gathered from start to finish. Make sure this measures about around 22 inches. It doesn't have to be exact because we'll have the elastic. Now this back part will be the front side. So get out your short piece and now we're going to safety pin it across the back. Leave about ½ an inch, ¼ of an inch to the side. What I do is I do the ends first. First and the end in the middle. You can measure and stretch to match the length. Make sure the gathers are evenly distributed. Okay, now we're going to sew. For the elastic, I recommend half of the waist measurement minus 1 inch. But if you're not sure, just do half of the waist because you can always make it smaller and cut it, but you can't make it longer. So 22 divided by half minus 1 is 10. So that's about 10 inches. Looks like this. Then gather the two ends and sew. So this is the back, that is the front. Now you want to match the right sides together. The end you want to leave a little bit like this so that afterwards you'll be able to sew this together and then start sewing right here. All the way across. So I'm going to safety pin it first and then sew. Then I have some little bit extra fabric left over, I guess. You could cut it or you can just save it and then cut it after. I'm just going to cut it after. Now you want to sew straight stitch all the way around. So these sides, we need to sew them together. So I'm just going to put it together. Then you start at the end right here, and then you sew it all the way down so that the waistband connects, because right now it's open. So do that on both sides. Now I can cut the extra fabric. Now it's connected, so when you lift it up, see, it's nice and connected. Now serge the top all the way around. Serge or zigzag. When I zigzag, I just play around with the width and the length. So that looks about right. Just going to try it on a scrap piece of fabric and see how it looks. I would have only done it just a little bit, but see, good enough. Okay, now that the tops are sewn, leave the front alone, but fold the back, sew along the same lines. Right here. So you don't see any seams here, because it's sewn here. So close it all the way around, and then we're going to leave this open, this part not sewn, the front, so that we can insert the elastic waist. Sew the back all the way around, leaving the front open. Also, when you sew, make sure you open the seam on the sides. And then this points upwards towards the waistband. So you don't sew it down like this, you sew it up as you sew. So I'm going to open this up, make sure this is up. And then fold it in half. And then sew. The waistband width stays the same all the way down. Get the elastic. Put it through the opening of the front. Right when it's almost going through, you want to sew this in place so you don't lose it. You want to sew it right at this seam right here so that you can't see. So sew the elastic, ends of the elastic right here. I would leave about this much. Why is that? Almost half an inch? 1/3 of an inch. So you sew it right there. See? Now it's not going anywhere. Now you can put it all the way across. As you go, you can bunch it up. Now that it's all the way through, you can pull it out. Take out the safety pin. And then do the same as you just did. So sew this right here. Sew it. Ding, ding, ding. The back is sewn. Now we can close the front. We do the same thing in the front. Make sure this seam goes up. Close it. And then sew it closed all the way. With the right sides together, you'll sew 3 sides. Right here, right here, right here, and then you leave this open. Sew here, here, here. It makes it easier to sew if you iron first. Serge the ends of the opening. Use this back part of the shirt to cut 2 identical strips. These will be the shoulder straps. Fold it in half and sew it closed. Once it's sewn, cut the extra fabric off. Safety pin the end and pull it all the way through. Once it's right side out, sew along both of the edges on each strip. I'm not going to sew the bib onto the skirt, I'm just pinning it so I can mark where the button and the buttonholes will go. We are now going to cut the sleeves to make the ruffles. Open up the sleeves, cut off the cuffs. Cut off any bulky hems. Cut each sleeve into 4 strips. The wider part of the strip will go on the shoulder area and it'll taper down. We'll We'll be sewing the 2 strips together, sewing the edges, leaving the ends open so we can flip it right side out. I want the ruffles to be maybe this wide at the widest, and then skinny like that. So I'm going to cut it. I'm going to leave whatever length I want, the width, plus 1/2 inch, so I can sew both sides for the seam allowance. Cut the strips so they're all matching in size. The length doesn't necessarily have to be the same, but make sure the width is the same. Sew on the edges on each side of the strip for all 4 strips. Make sure they're all right sides together. And you know the drill, safety pin the end, pull it through so it's right side out. The straight side, so not as curvy part, so one side in stitch length 5. You insert the strap in and then you fold this. The end of the ruffles, you want to fold the inside, this, and then sew it closed, both sides. I'm using 4 buttons from the neckline to make the detachable bib. I'm going to make 4 buttonholes. So mine's an automatic one where I just have to put the buttonhole measure. To open up the buttonholes, you just get a seam ripper. Buttons on the inside, right here. You can see the buttons right here, buttonholes right there, right there. And we're done. Let's look at the before, and should we see what it looks like now? The best part is the bib is detachable, so you can wear it just as a skirt. But I personally prefer it as a pinafore dress. How about you? Leave in the comments which one you would wear. And I got my daughter this cute puppy purse from Poshmark to style with this dress. Make sure to click the link in the description box to download your free app. It was so good having you here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this refashion, let me know by leaving some comment love and a thumbs up. And come back for my next thrift shopping series so you can choose which item I'd refashion next, just like how you guys voted for this pink men's shirt. Hope you come back soon.